Krishnan and Nessler defined major depressive disorder as a heritable mental disease which alters neural substrates in the brain. According to the World Health Organization, MDD is the fourth highest cause of disability, with this projected to reach second by 2020. While MDD is considered a mental illness on the DSM scale, many physiological mechanisms occur in the body during an MDD episode, sometimes regardless of environmental factors. In a paper by Molan, Mays, Ray, and Burke, they characterize MDD's physiological mechanisms to that similar of a neuroprogressive illness. They found structural changes occurring to the hippocampus volume during severe cases. They also found, along with studies by Keshavan and his co-authors, that memory and cognitive deterioration occurred in patients with recurring episodes. Meta-analysis conducted by Hamilton and others found issues in serotonin and dopamine release in patients with recurring MDD. Frucci and his colleagues found through their study that while medication is a good treatment option for some, transcranial direct current stimulation is a promising technique for drug-resistant patients. Brunio and others defined TDCS as a treatment technique involving a weak direct electric current being applied to the scalp, resulting in changes to brain activity due to cortical excitability. Studies conducted by the psychological research community have shown that TDCS can help balance the left and right side of the prefrontal cortex. This is attempted by stimulating the brain to enhance excitability of the left side while slowing the activity of the right side of the brain, which is overactive in those with MDD. This evidence is backed up by studies conducted by Blumberger and his colleagues. Boggio and his co-authors discovered that TDCS can have antidepressant effects. They found change in the prefrontal cortex which elevated mood. These physiological effects lasted approximately 30 days after treatment ceased. Cognitive performance and memory was increased also with the change in the prefrontal cortex in a study conducted by Oliveira and his colleagues using TDCS. TDCS is found to induce neuroplasticity in the brain. Q. Paulus and Nietzsche discussed inducing this to create potential to enhance rehabilitation in patients with MDD and other neuropsychiatric diseases. From the research available, it can be suggested that TDCS has positive impacts on patients with MDD who are resistant to medication. This gives the treatment validity for use to work in clinical practice in conjunction with other forms of clinical treatment. Future research needs to be conducted into the long-term side effects of continual use of TDCS, as current research mostly discusses the short-term, such as redness of the skin and light headaches. This could be due to the previous negative stigma of TDCS and the lack of studies tested in an actual clinical setting. This holds back the potential of longitudinal studies being undertaken, which could help create further understanding of treatment and help to improve long-term well-being in patients with MDD.